What's going on, everybody? Scott Hogan coming at you. We're going to talk equipment today. Welcome to the equipment corner, because we're talking about getting better at golf, total performance of your game, and fitting in clubs is a big part of that. Your knowledge of what the golf club can do for you is a big part of helping improve your game. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go over the Qi35 today, and we'll break down all the specs, but hopefully give you some information and knowledge that'll help you understand your golf clubs, or if you want to get in and get fit, that's something I think that you should do at least every couple of years to get and see if you have the best fit for your bag. And no better place to do it here than at the Mistwood Performance Center. If you're in the Chicagoland area, highly recommend you come out here and get fit. You can see full ball flight along with all your TrackMan data and all that. So just a thought to get in there, and I will link that down below so you can check out what the Mistwood Performance Center has to offer. All right, so let's talk the Qi35. So Qi35, it is the, I guess a refresh kind of to the Qi10, but there are a few little differences that you'll see as you go through. You're still going to see a carbon face on these drivers. You're still seeing that. You are going to see a different color scheme. You can see this is just like a matte gray, and then you've got a little bit of like a seafoam green, but a pretty basic design as we go through it, as you're looking at the club. Now you have 5 different model heads that you are going to see in these drivers. So you're going to have the core head, you're going to have the LS model, and then they still have the Max 10K model that they introduced last year with the Qi10. Now you also are going to see that they have a Max Light, and then they have a Max Ladies version as well. Those versions are going to be just lighter heads meant to help you get the ball in the air if you need a little bit more speed. So do know, I'm not going to show those specifically here, but those do exist, and if you're interested in those, definitely schedule a fitting where you can go see those models. So let's start breaking down each of the heads, and then we will go from there. So we might as well start it off with the core model here. Okay, so the core model is going to be the Qi35, just the regular Qi35. But all of these heads are going to be 460 cc's. This driver is going to have a little bit of a different shape, where we are starting to see with drivers where the back of the driver is getting more elongated out away from the center of the face. That lets them move some weight to away from the face. That helps bring in your dispersion a little bit, which is something that obviously is a good thing for us as we're hitting drivers. It also helps us with some consistency across the face and making sure that our miss hits are a little bit better. That is one of the things that carbon has allowed us to do, is you can start moving weight around and change things because of this material. It's a little lighter, a little stronger, so we can move and make different shapes based on having that material. Now, you are going to see in this driver, we have a couple of things, 2 weights. There is one in the back. The standard setup is a 13-gram weight in the back, a 3-gram weight in the front. Now, if you have it set up here, what they would advertise is that you actually have a 13% tighter dispersion. Now, 13% tighter than what? Not really sure, but 13% tighter dispersion if you have it with the heavier weight in the back of the driver. Now you can flip these and put the 13-gram weight up in the front near the face and the lighter 3-gram weight in the back. That is going to help increase your distance. They are advertising that you're going to get 5 yards of distance by just making that switch. So what that's doing is putting weight towards the front of the driver. That helps bring the ball flight down, helps bring your launch down. So that's also going to help bring your spin down too. So you've got that still. You still have the standard kind of tailor-made adjustment system. So you do have the ability to adjust your lie angle, adjust lofts. So the driver, for this driver, you're looking at lie angles anywhere from 58 to 62 degrees based on how you have it set up. That's important to know, because if you, let's say, struggle with the ball going more right, you can set it more upright, help that ball go left. Conversely, if you're hooking a little left, you can set it more flat, have that ball push a little bit more to the push side of it. So keep that in mind as you go. One note I want to point out is on this driver, you're going to actually see some white dots. This is actually a fitting head only. So you're going to see this if you go get fit. Fitters are going to have these heads because these work and they replace the stickers that you see for a GC quad. So we don't have to put stickers on this driver. Now, if you order one of these, you will not have the white dots. You will have just kind of a square that's not, it's going to be the same color as the carbon face as you're going through. So just keep that in mind. If you get it, like, where's the white dots? That's what we have. And that's actually a really cool tool. I'm interested to see if people actually get these on tour, because they have a lot of quads out there. I'm not sure if it's legal to have the dots. I'm not sure why it wouldn't be legal, but that'd be interesting to see as an option as you go. Lofts that are available in the core head, you're going to have your 9 degree, 10.5, 12 degree. And with this weight, that this club has, you're looking at a swing weight of D3. So pretty standard, I'd say, for a driver. And then we have the shaft options, the stock shaft options. You're going to have the Ventus Blue. That has kind of been the one they've used, the Ventus, for the last couple of years. They also do have this Diamana, this T Plus. This is an option for this driver as one of the stock shafts as you can go through it. Now let's move into the LS head. So the LS head, the low spin model. So this driver going to be a little bit different. Again, more low spin. You're gonna have a little bit of a different shape to it. So again, they're all 460cc, but this is gonna be more of what they call a traditional shape to the head. So a little bit more pear-shaped, not as elongated off the back of the club. Again, the more you do that, you're going to increase spin. You're gonna maybe slow down the ball just a little bit, and that's not really what we're trying to do with this driver. We're trying to take spin off, speed the ball up, all those types of things. So you want to get this club moving in a little bit, and then that's also going to make this driver just a little bit taller. If you were to look at them side by side, they are just going to see a little bit of a deeper face with this driver. So something that you're going to keep in mind as you're going through. Now on the weights, you do have 3 weights on this driver. So we have the weight in the back. That is still the 13-gram weight in the stock setup. We have 2 3-gram weights up here by the face. Now, what's interesting about this is you can actually rotate these. So if, let's say I wanted to put the weight over here, the 13-gram weight on the toe, speed up the heel, I can make sure that face stays a little more open, or I could put it on the heel, speed up the toe, make sure the face starts closing a little bit. So you do have some ability to change how the face is going to work through impact with the weighting as you go through. Also, moving that weight up could also you get some of that spin, get that ball speed up a little bit if you are looking for that. As far as loft options on the LS model, you're looking at an 8-degree head, you're looking at a 9-degree head, and then a 10.5-degree head that is available. The other thing to note about these drivers is in the LS models, they typically are a little flatter. So your lie angles are going to be from 54 to 58. Who is playing this driver? You're typically going to see higher speed, typically better players, but not always, but people that don't like to see the ball go to the hook side or pulls. So we flatten it out. It gets flattened out to try to make sure we keep that ball pushing, hitting kind of a high fade. They're never going to say that it promotes a fade, but it definitely promotes more of a fade if you're looking at this driver. So just keep that in mind. Unless you change the weighting around, that would help that as you go. The stock shafts in this family, you're looking at the Kylie family of shafts. So you have the white, you also do have the Kylie blue. Just keep that in mind. So we've got the Kylie blue, you have the Kylie white. So a little bit, again, more of a high performance shaft, something that's for a little bit higher speed, especially this white version, gonna really help. If you combine the LS head with that Kylie white, that's definitely a low spinning, kind of a lower launching option that you're gonna see from the stock options that you have. And then we're going to move into the Max, the 10K version. So this is that 10K head. We saw this with the Qi10 last year. Now we're seeing it with this Qi35. So what we see with this head, again, a long back to the club. Now this one only has 1 weight, and we had 13-gram and 3-gram weights in the core head and the LS head. In this guy, we have a 34-gram tungsten weight that is put in the back. So what they're doing is taking all of this weight and putting it to the back of the club. That helps stabilize the club, and that is how they get that 10K moment of inertia, which is just the club's ability to resist change or resist twisting when it's hit. That is what they are doing. And again, because you have this carbon material, they can now get away with moving the club and the weight further away from the face than they could previously with different materials. So that's the only weight you're going to see on this club. This club definitely, I would say, promotes more of a draw bias just on how it is, how it's set up and what it's doing. It also does come in a more upright lie angle. So again, just everything we can do to kind of draw the ball, help that person that's slicing a little bit more, you're going to see that from this club. 10.5, you are going to see a 12-degree model, and then you do have a 9-degree model as well. You do have, with this one, what's interesting is you have, for the shaft options, the stock shaft is this air speeder shaft, which is lighter. It's in the 50-gram. All 3, the regular, the extra, the stiff, and the X-Flex, those are all in the 50-gram range. Because when you put this much weight in the head, this driver is already heavy, and it's going to get to a D5 swing weight. Comparatively, the LS model, this is a D4 swing weight, and then the Core is a D3 swing weight. So they have to kind of keep the shaft a little bit lighter, because otherwise it's going to get really, really heavy. Now you can still get the Diamante T Plus as well, but it's just one of those things that probably is going to be seen a lot with a lighter shaft based on who you are and putting it into that max head, if that's something you're looking at doing. That is the Qi35. That's the different models. I'd love to hear if you have any questions, comments. What do you think of the driver? Is it something that you're interested in trying out, or is it something that you're going to pass on and wait for the next year? What other questions can I answer for you about it? Would love to hear those down in the comments below. We're going to have more of these equipment corners. It's that time of year where we have a lot of equipment coming out. So we will have the Cobra Dark Speed Adapt up next. So make sure you do not miss out on that. And if you need more information about getting fit, I will link when I got fit last summer, so you hear some good tidbits of information about getting fit. I will link that up here. So check that video out. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.